Hi, everybody. I'm Karen Gibbs, design director for Band and Boutiques. And today I just kind of wanted to talk about traveling to Indonesia. I miss it terribly right now. With being restricted as far as travel goes, obviously I'm not getting to Indonesia 3 times a year, which is what I normally do. Why would I go travel to Indonesia? Obviously, I want to work with my teams there. We get a lot done and a lot accomplished when I'm there. It's long days. It's a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Hello, Christine. How are you? Thanks for joining today. Um, but I wanted to kind of talk about traveling to Indonesia, and let me know in the comments if you've been there, if you've traveled, if you've gotten to go on a boutique expedition tour, or you stopped there on a cruise, or you've gone for a visit or something like that. And what's your favorite part? What areas did you like? Because obviously, boutique is my favorite, my absolute favorite. Creating it, working with the factories, and all of that. Hey, Trisha. Hi, how are you? Thank you for joining. But anyway, just a couple things, and maybe you're familiar with this, and maybe you're not. As far as traveling over there, it usually takes me about 25 hours to get to Indonesia, and that's from here in Denver. By the time I'm done, I take about 10 flights by the time I get back home. That's a heck of a lot of flights. Think about going through, and it's not your bags travel all the way through with you. It's think about getting your bags, hopping on a small airplane, getting through all different kinds of security. Um, so it's an exhausting process. But also remember, I'm going over the international date line. So when I plan a trip, I'm thinking about, okay, what day am I going to be island hopping? Because I work with 5 different factories, and I want to make sure that I book the time with each one of them and spend enough time with each one of them. But what day is it that I'm booking actually? So I get confused. I actually did one time where I booked the trip. I booked all my little going back and forth to all the different factories and places I needed to go, but I forgot to do the main flight from Seattle to Taipei. Okay, and that's where I do a layover. So that was a little scary, but anyway, let's talk about that. So I stop and lay over in Taipei, and I have my favorite noodle place that I have to go to. So I think when you travel internationally, or at least to Southeast Asia, you get over the fact that you have to have eggs and bacon for breakfast. You just or cereal or something like that, because your body's so screwed up and all of that. So I have a favorite noodle spot that I go to, and I've shared some photos ahead of this Facebook Live, so you guys could see what I'm referring to. But I always make sure I stop there, and it's warm, friendly, and hearty bowl of soup. And I love it, and I look forward to it every single time. When I'm going, I always try and make sure that I get out and see the sights or see something different. When we lived over in upstate New York, and I would take the kids down to New York City every year, Christmas time, we would make sure that we saw different things. So it wasn't try and see all of New York City at once. We would just take one little part of it. So I always make sure that when you land, your body is just so messed up as far as, okay, am I sleeping? Am I awake? Where am I? All of that kind of stuff. So I kind of make sure that I take that day. I like to arrive on a Saturday, and I take that day and I maybe go and see the sights or something like that. Hey, Barb, how are you? Thank you for joining. So anyway, when I land, the first thing I usually do when I get into Indonesia is, first of all, the humidity hits you like immediately. Boom! It's 100% humidity, and compared to here in Colorado, that's a huge difference. So we get the humidity, and you're like, okay, just slow down. I have to just slow down because nothing moves fast. First of all, the traffic is just crazy. I think we may have shared some traffic photos ahead of time, and riding on the motorcycles. That's the key way to get around. But I usually head over to the hotel and try and do some sort of workout or a swim or something like that just to get the blood flowing. But I do try and see whether it be temples, whether it be hiring a driver to go for a drive and show me something, because the hotels um, all do let you hire a driver on and show you. Let me turn my sound up a little. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it. Anyway, I try and make sure to see the sites. All right, so in Indonesia, it's made up of a lot of different islands, right? So each island is going to be different. It has different sites, has different food, has different religions or ways of life too. And I really am. I feel I really like to investigate that. What makes people tick? What do they love to eat? Because I'm all about food. If you know me, I'm all about food. Actually, I think we put some food photos up. That's one thing I just love when I go there. The guys from the factories, they always take me to something new, a different place, and then they tell me after I've eaten it what it is. So that's a lot of fun. But in Bali, it's the main religion is Hindu. Okay, and there's a lot of temples, there's a lot of statues, there's a lot of that for to see when you're there. There's also, like a tourist area, which is Kuta Beach, and that's great for surfing. You can take surf lessons, which you might have done in Kuta Beach. And then Denpasar is where the main airport is. In Ubud, I'm sure most of you have heard of that. And that's when you think of Bali and you see the rice fields and you think of getting in touch with yourself, your body, and nature. That's where you're going, essentially, in Bali. It's fantastic. I love seeing all of that. I think it's very inspiring. Like I said, it's very hot. It's 100% humidity. And what else do I like to see? And when I'm in Bali, I'd like to see the silversmiths, actually. They make these cute little things. They're called Bali bells. And they sound like a jingle bell. It's a little silver ball, and it's like a little thing inside. And it sounds like a jingle bell, except for a little bit sweeter sound, I guess. So I've given those to my girls so I can hear them when they're trying to sneak down the stairs for a snack or something in the middle of the night. Yeah. But they also have to wear that when I'm not home, when I'm in Bali. They wear that. So I'm close to them. Okay. But so I'd like to see that. What else do I like to see? We also have factories that we work with on the island of Java. And in Java, if you look, there's Jakarta and Solo, and they're more industrialized, right? They're city centers. Wonderful things going on there. Wonderful, just hustle and bustle and excitement. There's obviously tons of shopping in all over the place, and I think I included some of one of the stores that one of the factories actually supplies. Okay, so the factories, if you think about it, the factories that we work with that are making the boutiques make the boutiques for hospitality. They make them for uniforms. They celebrate their culture, right? Using the boutiques for shirts, for dresses, for scarves, all of that. And so it's wonderful to see all of that when you're in Indonesia. Just the amount of artistry is just totally inspiring. Let's talk about food for a second. You all know I'm into food. That's one thing that about adulting that everybody can't stand is you got to think of what you're going to cook every night, right? So for me, I like to explore different cultures and different foods. And we had the privilege this last time I was there of working with the head chef at the Oliva Hotel in Solo. And they took me to a market and I shopped for different ingredients. I think it was at 4:30 or 5 in the morning. And then that evening, I got to prepare a meal in the hotel kitchen. and then eat it, which is a lot of fun. I also get to prepare a little bit extra of a meal so I could take it to a family that I work very closely with at one of the factories. They're always taking me out, showing me sites, showing me new foods. So for me, it was very special that I was able to cook something for them, and then I was able to bring it to them for lunch to take a break during the day. What's my favorite place? Dish? Oh my goodness, what's my favorite dish? How about Catan? How about sesame balls? I like the snacks. I like the sweets. I do like the spice. One thing I noticed in Indonesia is the amount of spices that they use, but they balance it. So it's not that sharp um, tip of your tongue thing where it's like too hot. It kind of is the nice slow burn. I like that. I like that a lot. But I do like the interesting kind of snacks, and that's the inspiration for the batik. Basic by the name batik, it's the ketan, the name of it, or sticky rice. And sticky rice is a dish in Indonesia that they color many different colors, and sometimes they cook it on a grill, so it's got, and serve it in a coffee shop. Um, and it's got gave me artistic license to come up with an essential, which I really like. But the sesame balls right now have my heart, and I think I need to find an Asian market around here and find those sesame balls because I'm missing them. I was able to go to a couple temples on the island of Java, and they are just incredibly beautiful, absolutely stunning. I was able to go to the palace as well, and see the baths and see, just get a history lesson of that part of the world. I feel like a lot of times in the United States, and we don't necessarily focus on too much of the history of Southeast Asia as much. We focus a lot more on Western history, and so for me, it's wonderful that the people in the factory, the directors will take me out and show me around. I've seen the sugarcane factories, and history is a big deal to me. And I really like the historical batiks. I was able to find at almost like a flea market. Going shopping, I was able to find an antique shop that I turned into a little bit more modern. We had to fix it. But it's in my bandana collection, which is actually going to be in stores in April, I think. So we're starting to see it. Hey, Laura. Hi, how are you? A lot of upstate New York represented here. Awesome. Thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate it. But anyway, I miss the people that and the relationships there that I've formed. Obviously, we keep in contact via Skype and email and WhatsApp and all of that. But seeing them and being with them is so much fun. I got to play basketball in one of the factories. They actually have it's basketball hoop set up. The director of that particular factory played basketball in college, so I had zero chance of getting a basket in. Hello, Catherine. Hello. But so we do take breaks and that kind of thing too. It is about all the relationships that you build, just like the quilting community is. It's about those relationships and just like when we do quilting retreats, what do we do? What are you bringing? What kind of snacks are you bringing? It's all about that kind of thing. So for me, it's both ends. It's the creating the boutiques on one end, and all of those relationships that I've built over there, and then the quilting on the other end. One of my factories, the owner of the factory, his second child got married this summer. And it's a huge celebration, and he sent me a lot of photos, and that was just cool. It was just fun. Another one of the directors at the factory, they had a little girl this past year. Let me think. Yes, and I saw a picture of her recently, and gosh, she's getting so big. So the personal relationships I really value as well, and they make Indonesia a home basically to me. Those people. So I think that reflects a lot in what I show in my boutiques and how I create them. I think I get a lot of the history, therefore, and so I can tap into that. I think that's a lot of fun. So, do we have any questions or anything? What's my favorite dish? I can't see. Sorry, I can't hear anything. Is everybody else okay? Can you hear everything or not really? Okay. All right. So I wanted to let you know, all of those who have commented, just we will do a drawing and we'll send you. I'll let you know who wins, but we'll send a fat quarter bundle. I appreciate you joining me today. I don't know if we had technical difficulties for everybody, but I know Catherine mentioned she can't hear anything. So I don't know if I'm just talking too quietly this time. I'm trying to actually look into the camera this time. That's new and different for me. But I want you to, if you can, go to the Banyan Boutiques website or go to Banyan Boutiques on YouTube. And there is a really cool video of some of the processes. And we'll get back into processes of creating boutiques next week. Okay? So I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks.